chatting to another member of staff about how I set up Google Meets live classes, and I was thinking I might just make a video, and here it is on how I just set them up. Most of you probably know all this stuff already, but anyone who's not sure about how to set up certain things, maybe this might be useful for you. So the first thing that I do is I have a class. Obviously, we all have the classes in Google Classroom. Personally, I tell the kids to join my Google Meets through the classroom. So if I'm teaching sixth years, they'll log into the sixth year their maths Google Classroom, and there's a little icon at the top, and they tap that. It's a little record icon, and they tap that, and I made them a video to send to them, so I can send that video to you if you want, or you might have already seen it, but let me know if you want to see it. So what I have to do before I even do that is I have to make sure that my Google Classroom has a Meet link generated. So say I have this tester class here. I can let me just click on it. I can click on this link if I want and generate a Meet link straight away. But what I prefer to do is when I have a new class is I click on this cog up the top right hand corner, the settings cog, and I click on that and I scroll down and I click here, generate Meet link here. And I do that, and then I make sure that visible to students is on, so it's perfect, so it's on. And then I click save up the top right hand corner. Now I have a Meet link that is always going to be there on their Google Classroom, and so I don't have to make a new Meet link. All I need to do is tell the kids, hey, at 11:40 just go onto the classroom and tap on the icon and you'll be able to join the class. So what I do then is at about 11, say the class is going to be on at 11:40, like my sixth year class was yesterday. I go on at 11:35 and I go into the class and I click on the Meet link, and this will come up for me. And before I even start doing the thing, the class, I turn off my own camera, and then I click join now, and I just exit out of that for a sec. And the very first thing I do before any of the kids join, and that's why I come on early, is I click on host controls and I turn off quick access, which means that they can't join the meeting until I've allowed them to join. So when they click on the icon, they get a little message saying that please wait, Mr. Walrup is going to let you in a moment. And then I get a little notification saying so-and-so wants to join the meeting, and I can admit them or deny them. And that's good, because if somebody did manage to get a link to the meeting and you didn't recognize the username, you could just reject it. Reject them asking to come in. The other thing I do is I don't let them share their screens. I do let them send chat messages in case they don't have a mic or they don't want to come on the mic and they want to ask me a question. I leave that on, but I turn off share their screen. Now I was fiddling around with this and I could not find a way to mute other people. So I can't mute the kids, and I can't force them to turn off their cameras, or I couldn't find a way to shut off their cameras and to mute their mics. Now I haven't had to remove a child from a class, an online class, but I'm sure there is a way, and I'll probably see if I can figure that out in a tester class, of removing a kid that's misbehaving, or if somebody managed to get into the class that shouldn't be there. I should probably figure out how to do that. Anyway, once that's done, you can click anywhere outside the box, and those settings are saved. And then the next thing I do is I click on these three dots over here, and I go up and I click on record the meeting, and it'll come up saying make sure you ask permission and all that, and I click OK. And I try to record, I've forgotten once or twice, but I try to record every single meeting. And what happens is the meeting, once it's over, once you hang up on the call, the meeting automatically saves to the school's Google Drive. So it's always backed up, And if anything were to happen in the class, at least I have that recording to prove that, I told them to turn their cameras off, or I don't know who this was, or I didn't let them in, etc., etc. So personally, I think recording the video is essential for our own protection. And you can choose whether or not to share that recording with students who weren't in the class. So what I do is I get an email after I've recorded the class. So I get an email usually about 10 or 15 minutes later saying that the video is available. Now, when you click on that video, it might not actually be available. It might still be processing. So I give it an hour or two, and then I click on the video, and I click on the settings in the video. It gives you, there's usually 3 dots, and I click on that, and it says I can make a copy of it, or I can share it, or I can add a shortcut somewhere. And what I do is I do any of those things, and I put the lesson that we did on a Monday, I put it into the Google Classroom for the kids who missed the class. I can make a separate video showing how to do that if somebody wants me to, but make sure you email me to do that if you want. I won't do it in this video. So the last thing that I do is I click on Present Now, and this is your choice here of what you do. Now, I present my entire screen because I want to be able to show the kids another program here that I use. It's just a program that I can use for writing. So obviously in maths we need to be able to write as we go, or it's much easier to teach while we're writing and not typing. So I want to be able to use that program, and I find it easiest if I can just flick between windows like this. And also if I want to use a calculator, I can flick and show the calculator, or I can be doing the sum here and have the calculator up here, and I'm showing them how to use the calculator at the same time. So I use entire screen, but you've got to make sure that all of these tabs or all of these bookmarks that you have, they're all stuff that you don't want the kids, or you don't mind the kids seeing. Like, I don't care if they see a teacher about online teaching, or about my CBAs, or cooking, or teaching, or running, or whatever these are. And I make sure that none of my tabs are anything personal that I don't want them to see. And the last thing I also do when I'm doing a live class is, if I have WhatsApp web, I make sure that the notifications are turned off for WhatsApp web, so I'm not getting any messages popping up the right hand corner. Because even though the kids might be watching on their phones, they can zoom in, they can pinch and zoom on their phones. So even if this is tiny little writing here, they could still pinch and zoom in and see, oh, online teaching, So I just make sure that before I start the class, I have everything closed except for the stuff I want, and I have the notifications turned off for WhatsApp web. And remember, if you're presenting your screen and you need to go to your inbox to check something, the kids are going to be able to see that inbox, and they can screen record, and they can also screenshot during the meeting, and you wouldn't know. So if you are going to your inbox to send them an email or something like that, do it after the class, or stop sharing the screen and then do it, and then share the screen again. And that's why it's an advantage sometimes to use a tab, because if you're only sharing a tab, they will only see that tab. So if you are showing them a PowerPoint on slides, like about area and perimeter, maybe it might be best if you're only showing them this tab, so they only see this. But personally, I use whole screen just because I like to switch between different things. And then when you click on this, if you're really new to it, when you click on it, this will pop up. And so you have to click on that and then click share. Okay, that's if you're sharing the entire screen. If you're going to share just a window, it's going to pop up and it's going to say, do you want to share just this writing pad, or do you want to share just this, or just the calculator? And you click on whichever one you're going to share, and then you click share. And if you're clicking on a tab, you click on the tab, and they're going to have all the different tabs. So I want to show them only Google Slides, so I click on that, and then I click share. And the other thing I do is, while I'm doing a lesson and I have this here, this showing here, this maths, and they might send me a message saying, "Oh, sir, what did you do there, or why'd you do that?" And I might not be able to see the message without coming out of here and clicking on messages, and I don't want to do that. What I do is I have my phone beside me, and I go into Google Classroom on my phone, and I join the meeting from my phone. And you can do that no problem. But when you do that, you have to go up to the top and click on the little three dots and make sure you turn the audio off and mute your mic. Otherwise, you get this terrible feedback. So if you're stuck with that, or you can't get your head around that, give me a shout. I'll give you a hand with that. And then when you're finished the meeting, all you have to do is leave the call, and this will happen, and it'll save. The video is now saving, so I can say return to home screen or whatever. And the video is saving, and I'll get a video now in, I don't know, if I recorded the video. If you don't record the video, if you don't record the meeting, you don't get the video. But I would get an email about 10-15 minutes later, and then you get to share that. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, or if there's nothing that's super clear.